Have you ever sat down to a steaming plate of matuke and ground nuts and wondered where it all came from? Before that food reaches your table, it follows a specific path through the soil, the rain, and the markets. That path begins with agriculture. In East Africa, farming is the engine that drives the economy. It is how the vast majority of families put food on the table and earn the money they need to live. The first way we group this is crop farming, or arable farming. You can see this everywhere in the countryside, the rows of maize, beans, or cassava growing in the fields. Then there is animal farming, known as pastoral farming. This side is all about the livestock, the herds of cattle, goats, and sheep that provide milk, meat, and wool. Categorizing farms this way is the first step in seeing how the region manages its food and its land. Look at the small individual plots of land surrounding these homes. This is subsistence farming. The family working this land uses simple hand tools to grow just enough food to survive, with almost nothing left over to sell. In the past, a family might farm a plot until the soil tired out, and then just move to a fresh patch of land. With populations growing so fast today, there simply isn't enough free land left to do that. Because land is limited, many farmers rely on commercial farming. Here, workers are harvesting coffee. They aren't growing this to eat, they are growing it specifically to sell for a profit. When you scale that idea up, you get plantation agriculture. These vast rolling hills are covered in a single crop, tea. A farm this large requires heavy machinery and hundreds of hired workers to maintain. So whether a farm is meant to keep a single family fed or to generate cash from a massive harvest, that goal dictates the size of the farm and the tools used to run it. Taking a small family garden and turning it into a profitable business is difficult. Farmers run into serious physical and economic roadblocks along the way. First are the physical challenges. A farmer cannot control the climate, meaning a long dry season can ruin a harvest, and the land itself can fight back. Farming on a steep hill often leads to rain washing the healthy topsoil away. Then there are the human challenges. Buying a tractor or high-quality seeds requires money that a small farmer might not have. Even with a great harvest, poor, muddy dirt roads make it hard to actually transport those crops to a market to sell them. Making real money from farming requires strategic problem-solving to outsmart unpredictable weather and overcome a lack of expensive equipment. We can see this struggle clearly with livestock. In dry regions, traditional herders practice nomadic pastoralism. They constantly move across arid landscapes, sometimes digging deep into dry riverbeds just to find enough water to keep their animals alive. In this traditional system, a herder's wealth is counted by the sheer number of animals they own, like these local Ankole cattle, rather than how much milk or meat each cow actually produces. Modern commercial ranching takes a different approach. Instead of constantly wandering, farmers keep animals in permanently fenced areas. This animated diagram compares the two methods. On the left, traditional herding relies on unfenced land and local breeds moving to find wild water sources. On the right, commercial ranches use fenced paddocks, install permanent water troughs, and bring in exotic cattle breeds that receive regular veterinary care. By controlling the environment and caring for specific breeds, modern ranchers get much higher amounts of milk and meat, turning basic survival into a highly reliable business. Crop farmers face their own severe threats. Long, unpredictable droughts and rapid soil erosion threaten to wipe out entire harvests. Farmers fight back with clever, low-cost science. This diagram shows terracing, used to combat erosion on steep hillsides. The flat steps slow rainwater down, soaking in gently instead of washing topsoil away, keeping soil intact. To survive dry seasons, farmers use a simple trick. This diagram shows basic drip irrigation. A plastic bottle with tiny holes buried upside down. Water drips slowly into the soil, directly to the roots, maximizing efficiency and saving the crop. A farmer does not need million-dollar machinery to fight climate change. Applying simple agricultural science protects the land and guarantees a harvest. People often assume you need thousands of acres to be a successful commercial farmer, but modern agribusiness is about smart strategy, not just the size of the farm. A farmer with just a 2-acre plot can run a highly profitable business by treating it like one, specifically by choosing high-value crops like tomatoes or passion fruits and managing resources carefully. The most effective way to generate wealth from those crops is a process called adding value, processing raw goods before selling them. This flowchart shows taking a raw ear of maize, running it through a milling machine, and turning it into packaged posho. Processing drastically increases the sale price. Additionally, the mill creates local factory jobs. Value addition is the critical step that transforms raw agricultural potential into realized, tangible wealth. Evolving past simple survival requires adaptation. It takes protecting the soil, managing water efficiently, and planning carefully for the market. By protecting the soil and applying modern methods, agriculture feeds East Africa today and builds its wealth for tomorrow.